When you win the World Cup, the UEFA Champions League and the Ballon d'Or, it is said that you have completed football. And well, that exclusive list of players just expanded a little bit once again this year. With that new expansion, we want to revisit that list and look at all the players who have achieved this incredible feat. These are the 11 players who have now completed football. Let's start with Rodri. Having captained Spain to the World Cup just the other day, he became the first Spanish player to ever complete football. He had previously already won the Champions League with Manchester City in 2023, even completing the European treble on his way. He would then go on to win the Euros with Spain in 2024, which earned him the Ballon d'Or. Now the captain of the national team, Rodri then led Spain to only their second ever World Cup this year, even winning the Player of the Tournament award on the way. This means that he has now completed football, and very impressively, he has done it being the main man in all the campaigns. Another man who was the main man in every campaign on his way to completing football is the great Sir Bobby Charlton. On top of that, he had many firsts. In 1966, he won England its first, and till date, only ever World Cup, and that earned him the Ballon d'Or, making him only the second ever Englishman to win the award, after Stanley Matthews, who won the first ever Ballon d'Or. Then 2 years later, in 1968, he led Manchester United to their first UEFA Champions League trophy, which was named the European Cup at the time. And of course, Ousmane Dembele did this too. In 2025, he won the UEFA Champions League and even completed the European treble with PSG. All of that earned him the Ballon d'Or, something no one could have predicted 5 or even 2 years prior. We all remember that he was part of that France squad that won the nation's second ever World Cup in 2018. He wasn't a major part of that World Cup winning squad, but he got a medal, so it surely counts. Having that already in his locker enabled him to practically complete football when he won everything he did in 2025. And you could say that he is perhaps the most unlikely player on this list because absolutely nobody saw it coming. But of course, he is not the only Frenchman who has completed football. Do you know who the other person is? Take a guess in the comments, we'll see if you're right soon. While you're there, if you aren't yet subscribed to the channel, go do that right away so you never miss out on our amazing content. Done? Okay, back to the video. Let's now talk about Franz Beckenbauer. He won the Champions League, which was then the European Cup. But not only did he win it, he three-peated it between 1974 and 1976 with Bayern Munich. Then in 1990, he won the World Cup with West Germany. As for the Ballon d'Or, he won it in 1972 and 1976, also finishing as runner-up in 1974 and 1975. So, Beckenbauer is one of those players who emphatically completed football, even doing it as a captain. In fact, he was the first captain to lift the World Cup, the Euros and the European Cup. But on top of doing all this as a footballer, Franz Beckenbauer also went on to win the World Cup with West Germany as a coach in 1990, becoming just the second man and only one of 3 men to win the World Cup as both player and coach. Another German who managed to complete football is Gerd Müller. The legendary goal machine also famously completed football back in the 70s. He was part of that Bayern Munich team that won the European Cup in 3 consecutive seasons, doing it along with Beckenbauer. He would then also win the World Cup, also with Beckenbauer in 1974. But interestingly, it was his Ballon d'Or that came first. He won the award in 1970, before the World Cup and Champions League trophies came along. It's here. The Goal 90 Mastery Mat has landed, built for the next generation of footballers. More control, faster feet, sharper confidence. With the Goal 90 app, every session is guided, every touch has purpose. Train at home, train every day. Level up in just 20 minutes. Launch offer is live. 30% off, plus free worldwide shipping. Don't miss the drop. Order now at Goal 90 Shop. The following decade, Paolo Rossi became the first Italian to complete football. He won the World Cup with Italy in 1982, winning the Golden Boot as well as the Golden Ball at the tournament. That super dominant performance on the biggest stage earned him the Ballon d'Or, making him the only player to win the World Cup, Golden Ball, Golden Boot, and the Ballon d'Or in the same year. He would then go on to complete football in 1985 when he won the European Cup with Juventus. Till date, Rossi is the only Italian to have ever completed football, and with the way the Italians have refused to return to the World Cup, he might remain the only one for a very, very long time. But as for Brazilians, a good number of them have completed football. Ronaldinho did it in 2006. He won the World Cup in 2002, the Ballon d'Or in 2005, and then completed football when he won the Champions League with Barcelona in 2006. But Ronaldinho is one guy who has done more than just complete football in the way we know it. He is the only player who has won the World Cup, Copa America, UEFA Champions League, FIFA Confederations Cup, Copa Libertadores, and the Ballon d'Or. The man is in a league of his own. He completed football in Europe, South America, and on the world stage, and he entertained the world each step of the way. His former teammate Rivaldo also did so. He first won the Ballon d'Or in 1999 while he was at Barcelona, then he won the World Cup with Brazil in 2002, and then the UEFA Champions League with AC Milan in 2003. This meant that he was the first Brazilian player to complete football. The last one, though, was Kaká. He is another member of that Brazil World Cup winning squad who also went on to complete football. After winning that World Cup in 2002 as a fringe player, he then went on to win AC Milan the Champions League as the main man in 2007, and his performances in that year earned him the Ballon d'Or. Kaká's Ballon d'Or success signaled the start of the Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo era. It's something like a handing over of the torch. Now, like we said earlier, Dembele is not the only player who has completed football. Zinedine Zidane did it before him. The new France coach helped France win their first ever World Cup in 1998, scoring twice in that final. Those performances earned him the Ballon d'Or that year. He would then complete football in 2002 when he won the Champions League with Real Madrid. It was a huge one for him after having lost finals in 1997 and 1998 with Juventus. Anyway, as you might have guessed, we have saved the best for last, Lionel Messi. The 2026 World Cup did not end the way he hoped he would, but he had already completed football 4 years before that, so it really didn't matter. But he came super close to becoming the first man to complete football twice. He won the UEFA Champions League 4 times, won the Ballon d'Or a record 8 times, and is only the second man to have actually played in 3 different World Cup finals after Cafu. If he had won any of the 2014 or 2026 finals, he would have completed football twice. But it was just not to be. These are 11 players who have completed football as we know it, but the list gets a little smaller when we consider players who have also won their continental trophies, that is the Euros or the Copa America. That would then leave us with Rodri, Müller, Beckenbauer, Zidane, Messi, Ronaldinho and Rivaldo. Anyway, who do you guys think will be the next candidate to join the exclusive list of footballers to have completed football? Is it going to be Lamine Yamal or Kylian Mbappe? Both those players are just 1 Champions League and 1 Ballon d'Or away from doing it. Who's going to get there first? Or is there another player we're not looking at who's going to maybe get there first? Tell us in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Also, turn on the bell notification so you never miss out on new content. Catch you in the next one. Bye.